Hi everyone, it's Christine from Christine's Stamping Spot. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Alberta, Canada. Thank you for joining me on my Mystery Monday video this morning on Monday, August the 19th. Oh my gosh, we're getting closer to September. I know for us school, teachers have to be back in school next week on the 26th, and the kids come before the Labor Day weekend. So I'm sure lots of parents are eagerly getting their little ones ready for the big day. So today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about card sketches. We are going to prepare a project today using a card sketch. Now, for anyone that's never done it, card sketches are a fantastic way to have a starting point for your project. Sometimes you look at the stamp set, you look at your paper, and you think, okay, what am I going to do? What's it going to look like? How am I going to put this together? And so by simply Googling card sketch templates or card sketch templates with measurements, you will get a whole bunch of samples that will come up that will give you a bit of a starting point for your project. So I pulled one. I found a project by Terry Gaines, and she is with, let me see, createwithterrygaines.com, and she does have a library of card sketches, but like I said, you could also Google it. And so her card sketches are known as Inking of You. So this is one of her sketches, and we're going to follow this in our project today using these measurements. I'm going to show you a couple of little tips and tricks that you can do. And one thing I wanted to show you also was a great addition to our new catalog this year. Our annual is on page 22. They have included a bunch of card sketch templates for you down here. Perfect, hey? So you can just sort of pick one of these. Now, they don't have measurements, but you could sort of finagle your measurements, or you could kind of alter the design a little bit, but at least it gives you a jumping off point. And then you can sort of pick the colors you want, the tools you're going to need, and put your project together. So it's a great way to get started if you're not sure. Okay, so this is the template we are going to follow today. And the set we are going to use for this is Adventurous Sky. I believe I did a project with this a long time ago. This is in our annual catalog. And if you are looking for it, it is here on page 36. It's actually a whole suite called Take to the Sky. So there are some great samples here and the pieces that you get in the suite. So we are going to use the stamp set, the dies, and this designer paper. So I just want to give you a quick look at what that looks like. So first of all, this is the stamp set, and these are the dies. So you get some really, like, it's a big set, honestly. Like, you get a lot of dies, a lot of stamped images. You've got like little propellers and just all kinds of little things that you can layer and put together. So really a really fun set. Great for masculine cards because we always need those, don't we? Always. Okay, so just to quickly show you the paper. Where did I put it? Down here, I think. Okay, so I've used some of this one already, as you can tell. So I'll show you the one side. This piece, it's all 12 by 12. So this is clouds. This one has some really neat airplanes on it. Some sort of plaid or checkers there. Some other sort of patterns, geometrics. You got some sort of swirls here. Some sort of graphics, maps. And then on the back, you have got some really nice plaids here. So this, I think, is their Smoky Slate, Copper Clay, Night of Navy, Mossy Meadow. Here's some other nice mapping images. In here too, some more airplanes. Here's some more airplanes. And this piece I really wanted to focus on because we are going to use this in our project. This is a really wonderful piece because everything can just be cut out and used as card fronts or pieces on your card. You've even got some tags here that you can use and cut out, and the back is this sort of mapping graph. So we are going to use a couple of these designs. I have pre-cut a couple of them, but we are going to cut these out using the measurements that are on this card sketch. Okay, so I'm just going to get my paper trimmer and cut out the pieces that we're going to need. So your regular card base will be your usual 8.5 by 5.5 folded in half. Then we're going to need a piece that is a 5.5 by 4. So for that, this piece is a really good size. I don't know if I really want the airplane. I guess I could, but I love the mapping on the back. So let's just cut this strip off here. Just line it up on the lines, like so. And we're going to cut this one out. And we're going to cut it down to 5.5 by 4. So I think I'm going to use this side here. So 5.5 by 4. Oh, it is at 4 right there. Okay, so this is going to be one of our layers. All right, I'm just going to set that aside. So that's going to be this large one. Okay, then we need a couple of other ones here. So let's start with a couple I did already. So I had one that I liked for this 2.25 by 1. So I'm going to use this pattern here, which was this one here. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. So we have that one and our large one. What else? Do I have anything else cut out? Oh, this little 1 by 1. So I had a little piece here. That is from this tag. Okay, so we're going to cut another piece from there. We're going to cut this one, the 2.5 by 1.25. Okay, so let me just cut this tag. I know I'm probably not in camera view. I've got so many pieces going on here. I apologize. Okay, so we're just going to cut on the line. All right, and let's cut out this tag. Now you could use it as a tag, but I'm just going to use the paper part of it. Okay, so I need a piece that is 2.5 by 1.25. Okay, so let's go 2.5. Right, 2.5 high. Okay, maybe I should do this side first because it's 2.5 high, 1.25 wide. So let's do the 1.25 wide. Just so I get my bearings straight here. And then I need 2.5. Okay, so I wanted it so this was showing here at the bottom. Okay, so that's another piece. I have that one. Okay, so I have this one, I have this one, I have this one. So we need this one. So 3 by 1 3 by 1.75. And for that, I really like this. It's sort of like sketches, drawings type of idea. So let's cut that at 1.75. Okay, I didn't cut this. I have a bit of white showing and that's bothering me. I'm just gonna cut that off, sorry. All right, so 1.75 wide. So 1.75 wide, 3 inches long. So 1.75 by 3. Which part am I going to cut off? I don't know. I like them all. Let's do it here by 3. Okay, so that will be that piece. Okay, so I think I have them all. Okay, so let's kind of lay this out before we put anything down. And I have chosen my base out of copper clay. So this is 8.5 by 5.5. I'm going to fold it in half, like so. and it'll go this orientation. Okay, so now she says to put this layer 5.5 by 4, which was this, right? Just make sure my airplanes are going the right way. So 5.5 by 4, so it'll fit like that. Okay. So we're just going to lay it down exactly as she has in her sketch, and then I'm going to show you a little modification to it. Okay. So let's just do how the sketch says first of all. Okay, so then let's start with this large piece here. So that was the 1 3/4 by 3. So that goes about like that. I hope you can see this on the camera. And then we have this little 1 by 1. So I'm just going to put that here to the side. Raise that up a little bit. And then we have this one going underneath. So that was the 2 1/4 by 1. So let's just put that like that. And then our last was this 1 1/4 by 2 1/2. And that was kind of overlapping a couple of them here, maybe like so. Okay. So now all we need is our decorative image and our sentiment. So what I did was I stamped out, which airplane? This one. I stamped this in tuxedo black, memento, and cut it out with a die. So we have an airplane, and I wanted it to kind of fly in the clouds. So I used some of that designer paper and I cut out a circle with the stylish shapes dies. So this will be my decorative image. I'll kind of put this maybe here and then the airplane. Okay, and then for the greeting, I used happy birthday, but there's some great ones. Flying by to say hi, you're the best, plain and simple. There's some really great greetings in here. In my greeting, I used the die, so it's a bit of a flag, and that will go probably over here. Okay, so that is an easy way to follow your card sketch. It looks great, right? Just as is. That would be your card. Similar once everything is placed, right? So there you go. You've cut everything like the card sketch, and it's great. I would like to step this up a notch for myself. And this is totally optional. You don't have to do this. But I want to pop this up so the colors kind of pop, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So let's take some of this apart. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a Night of Navy matte underneath all of these pieces. So when I did that, when I cut that, I just added 1/8 of an inch to each measurement. Okay, so this one is the navy. Now, did I cut this right? I think I did, but it is so slight, like it's very minimal. But when you put it on the copper clay, you get that little bit of navy popping out, which I like. You don't have to do it. You could just leave this DSP. Let's try putting this on and see how it goes. Okay. So we're going to put this on our Night of Navy, and it is a really small edge, 1/8 of an inch. I usually go for, when I do my matte pieces, I usually give it about 1/4 of an inch, but because I didn't want a ton showing, I decided just to go with the 1/8 of an inch. So you see, you got a little bit there and a little bit on the bottom. The side measurement is still the same, the 5.5. Okay, so let's put this on our base. And again, this is going to be really just a tiny bit showing here. Let's see if we can kind of get it even. So you get a little bit of that copper clay still showing, and there you go. So you have a little bit of copper clay on the top and a little bit on the bottom, plus the Night of Navy. Okay, so that's going to make our base. All right, so now we are going to add our mats to all of these other pieces. So I'm just going to set that aside. So this is for the 1 by 1. So I cut that at 1 1/8 by 1 1/8, and I will post these measurements, so don't worry. So let's just sort of assemble these as we go. Okay, so that was our 1 by 1. Then we had this 1 3/4 by 3 piece. So I made the measurement, I think it's 3 1/8 by 1 7/8. Okay, so it gives you that little bit of a navy border all the way around. Oh, come on, adhesive. Okay, so this will be a very, 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 very small border, but you can still see it, so that's good. Okay, so there's that one. And then we had, what did we have here? This is our 2 1/2 by 1 1/4. So then I cut it at 2 5/8 by 1 3/8, I think it is. Don't quote me on these. I will put them on the post because I could be getting my measurements wrong in my head when I just sort of try to say them out loud. Okay, so we will add this on, and that will give us a little bit of a border. And then our last was the 2 1/4 by 1. So that was 2 3/8 by 1 1/8. Okay, so that will go on there. Okay, so this, we'll see how this sort of changes the look of it a little bit. Now, I also had, I still have it, and it looks like I've lost it. Or is it attached to me? I did have my, oh, here we go, my clouds. So I did cut another circle out of navy, and this is also with the Next Largest Stylish Shapes die. So let's put our clouds on the mat here, and that will be popped too. I'm not going to touch the greeting or the plane. Okay, so now let's try to assemble this. All right, make sure it's going the right way. So I'm just going to lay this down first so I can make sure these pieces are going to fit. Okay, so let's start with this long one. And we will put it maybe here, and then we'll add our small little square right beside it, but not quite to the bottom. We'll raise it up a little bit, okay, like so. And then we had, this is our template here, so we have this piece underneath, so that would be this blue one. So let's put this, let's put this one kind of, I guess like this, and then our last one will go over top, okay? Now you can get card sketch templates that do not have this many layers or pieces with layers. You can definitely get some that have fewer pieces. I just thought this was really kind of neat with this airplane set. I thought it was kind of cool. Okay, and then we are going to pop up our clouds with some dimensionals. Just make sure your clouds are going the right direction. I'm not one to judge, but somebody might notice, or they may not, and that's fine too. Okay, so after I say that, I better make sure I do it. Okay, so this, let's see, we will put this maybe, because I want some of these layers all to show, right? How about like there? And then our airplane, we are going to put on with some mini dimensionals. You could probably get away with the regular ones too. Maybe 2 large ones instead of the minis. So I wasn't quite sure, so I'm gonna go with the minis. And then we'll see how that looks. Okay. Now I didn't color my airplane. I just left it black and white, but if you wanted to add a bit of color, you probably could with your blends or markers. And lastly is our happy birthday. So let's put some minis on that as well because it's very thin. And this is also with a die from the stamp bundle, from the Adventurous Sky bundle, or Take to the Sky bundle. That's sweet anyways. And makes for really, really good masculine cards, or even if you know some, you know, a lady friend in the military that might be a pilot. You never know. She might appreciate this card too. Oh, is it sticking? Ah, there we go. Oh my gosh, these are so small. Today they just look extra small to me. Okay, so let us put our greeting on. Maybe we'll put it just down here. Like so. Happy birthday. And there you go. So I think that follows our template pretty close, don't you think? And I kind of like how that navy matte makes that designer paper pop. Like I said, you don't have to use it. It's just an option. And you could add some embellishments to this if you wanted, but I'm just going to leave it plain for today. And there you go. So that is your card sketch card using the Adventurous Sky stamp set. So I hope you'll give card sketches a try. They really do save some time and let's admit, even frustration sometimes if you're really stuck and can't come up with a layout or a design. And definitely use the annual catalog, that the page where all of those entries are too. There might be something that will just at least give you a head start, and it's just a matter of putting it all together. So I hope you enjoyed that, and we will see you again next week. Have a great week, everyone. Bye for now.